everyone, here we are. Thank you for joining us on today's ESO Live on this lovely Friday, last Friday in August, and then, oh my God, September
and Imperial City launch next week.
Oh my God, it's happening. Thank you for watching, tuning in, and following us on our channel. I'm Gina Bruno, Assistant Community Manager for ESOTU.
And I'm Jessica Folsom, Community Manager for ESOTU.
And we are going to get right into our show overview and show you everything that is going on the show today.
Yep.
Maybe. There it is.
So first up, we're going to start out with the news, which of course involves the Imperial City launch on PC and Mac for North America and Europe.
After that, we're going to get into some fan creations, and joining us is the ever-popular senior artist Matt Weathers, back for another round.
Then we'll have our Ask Us Anything segment where we answer some of your questions from the official ESOTU forums.
After that, we will do our Life at Sauce segment with a Game Tools programmer, Will Burton.
Then we'll go over our community events so you know what you can hop into over the weekend and over the next couple weeks in-game.
And naturally, we will have some giveaways throughout the show, so stay tuned. Got some cool little things for you this week.
So as we said, first up, let's dig into the news. So over the last few weeks, actually it's probably been about 4+ weeks, we've been testing the Imperial City on the PTS. Thank you so much to those of you who have helped us test, and our live streamers, of course. We're finally launching the Imperial City on PC and Mac for North America on Monday, Tuesday for Europe. And shortly thereafter, we're going to be launching on Xbox One on September 15th and PS4 on September 16th.
So exciting. Are you excited?
Yes.
It's been a long time coming, but it's finally happening. Last month, what day was it that the PTS patch went up?
Well, it was Wednesday.
Earlier this week,
yeah,
we had a PTS patch. It was version 2.1.3, went live on the PTS, and there were a bunch of little fixes and improvements in there. In case you missed it, we do have the patch notes up on the forums in the PTS section. It's stickied up there at the top. Just in case, you want to go through some things. We did update most of the Imperial City item sets, so a lot of them got a little boost. Mole Cana did not get a boost, went down a little bit. So check out all the details on the forums for exactly what changed and what you can expect when this goes live on Monday. We did increase the amount of Telvar stones that you get from the patrolling horrors. It's all those sweeper bosses throughout Imperial City. So they now drop 500 Telvar stones, up from 400.
Awesome.
We added a bunch of potions, food and drink to all the siege vendors that you can find in Cyrodiil. Those can only be purchased with Alliance points. We updated the rewards of the worthy. So those sets will come in blue or purple qualities. Pretty colors. And all of those set items that you get from Rewards of the Worthy are now bind on equip.
Yep.
We fixed an issue where dual wield light and heavy attacks were not actually hitting stealth players, so that's going to be fixed once we go live. And a whole bunch of other things. We've been fixing little bugs here and there in between the patch that just went out and what's going live on Monday. So be on the lookout for, I think,
58 pages?
58 pages of patch notes.
Come Monday.
They will be published for your reading pleasure. And maintenance, it's pretty significant on Monday, so.
I think it starts at, is it 8 or 10?
It's either 8 or 10, and it's gonna go for a few hours, so just hang tight until at least the afternoon, Eastern time.
Yep, and we'll be on the forums, of course, if you want to chat.
Entertaining everybody.
So next up, of course, we had some Crown Store item releases this week. We had the Nedic Armor Pack, the Noble Dress, the Noble Suit, and the Wedding Suit. And we've already seen some really great screenshots on social media of people showing off their new duds, so that's always fun. And we're going to have some new items coming with the Imperial City launch. So for PC and Mac, that'll be on Monday or Tuesday if you're in Europe, and then in September 15th or 16th respectively for consoles. So that's going to include the Imperial City DLC, of course, the Daedrat, who is a new pet, the Soul Shriven pack, and that's like a Soul Shriven costume pack. There you can see
You
it.
can see it there.
The Mind Shriven horse, and I think that's, yeah, just those 3. So keep an eye out for those on the Crown Store when Imperial City hits.
He's got some cool effects on him.
Yeah.
Super lightning awesomeness. What else? Earlier this week, I think on Monday, was it Monday, Tuesday? I'm sorry, you guys, the weeks are just all blurring together. It was on August 24th. We had a developer Let's Play hosted on our Twitch channel. It was creative director Rich Lambert, who I think is lurking in chat right now on Twitch.
Yep.
We had our lead PvP designer, Brian Wheeler. One of our QA leads, Michael Larrabee, and zone lead, Greg Roth. They were all playing through Imperial City on the PTS.
And we definitely saw some familiar names in there from live streaming, giving them a run for their money.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. So you can see a little clip of the action from earlier this week. We had a bunch of people in chat, and like Jess said, a lot of people hopping in onto the PTS, kind of some helping, some not really helping so much, but they had a good time.
Yep.
So
It was
we
fun.
will be replaying this after today's show in case you missed it. It's pretty fun.
Yep.
So check it
Go
out.
Stick around.
And now we are going to do our first giveaway. It is a lithograph of something.
It will be a surprise.
It is a surprise, and maybe we'll even have some people sign it for you. So the keyword in celebration of Imperial City is going to be DLC. Just those letters. DLC. Oh, Lord.
So for those of you who don't know, this little story about what we'll be doing next week. So every time we do a big launch, like the DLC for Imperial City, we all get together in what we call a war room. So we'll all be together with all our computers and looking at all of these charts. And
It's really fun.
yeah, it is, and it's a big deal when the servers come back up and we watch, how things are going. So that's what we'll be doing on Monday and Tuesday.
I know you guys are like manically refreshing, waiting for patch notes, waiting for the
Yep.
maintenance stand. We're manically refreshing, looking for, oh my gosh, this isn't working right, or I can't get in here, or whatever.
We end up triaging basically the
Yeah.
whole week. We pull any issues that we see come up on the forums or Reddit or social media, and that's kind of our main job for the whole week.
Yeah, it's good times. It's pretty much just 24/7 monitoring and making sure everything's working properly.
We want you guys to be able to have fun
Yeah.
and play.
Oh, show. Okay. Jason just sent our winner for the lithograph, and it is Klein 427.
Woo!
Congrats, Klein427.
Hope I didn't butcher that name too much. Apologies in advance. As per usual, Jason will reach out to you on Twitch chat, get your name and address. We'll ship that off to you next week, and enjoy your goodies. And next, we are going to get into our fan creation showcase
With Matt.
Matt Weathers.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back. In case you missed last week's show, we had Matt Weathers on, and he was quite the entertainer. So we
Yep.
figured we'll bring him back by popular demand. And he's gonna go
Entertainer is
through-
a euphemism. We're not going to discuss what it actually means.
So Matt, again, if you missed him last week, he does a lot of the concept art in the game. It's kind of the first step in creating new stuff. So he knows his art. We're going to get into looking at other people's art.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I want to tell a little story.
Do it.
Okay.
My first love as an artist was straight up black pen, white paper. So like just the thing that I go to when I sit down and have fun and relax and not do a piece of concept where like my job is on the line is basically stuff just like this, where I sit down and do like a pen drawing. And I know this was probably done digitally, but it looks like it's done in the same kind of pen freehand drawing style that
It does
I
kind
kind
of.
of enjoy. So
I mean, not that I'm an artist, but I'll just agree
well,
with you.
so here's the thing. Like art is interesting because if you have eyes, you can look at the art.
You're correct.
Like, well, so we've that's it.
It is
And
true.
I mean, and even beyond art, music is art. All kinds of things are art. So, I mean, I love the suggestion of the hair texture. I love the energy in that. I would challenge that artist to go a little further with this and maybe use that as like an initial sketch, and then maybe do a second one. And some of the things you can do to make that. I'm putting my hand over the microphone like a dumbass, by the way. Like,
It's okay.
so, no, some of the things you might do to kind of make this bust essentially a little more interesting is, one, pull back, add a little more of the character, even just a little bit of the suggestion of the shoulders, and potentially turn the head a little bit so you get a more asymmetric view of the face, and then you get a little more of the stuff going on in the neck that way. So just food for thought, fun work.
Go ahead and try and pronounce that title.
Ashanib Lamut Balilit.
Wow.
That is
That's
better than I would have
us.
done.
So keep in mind, I used to read Michael Moorcock when I was really young, and that's easy because there's no friggin' apostrophes in that thing.
And by I got a witty name. That's
Very
a good
cute.
name on Tumblr,
it's
right?
so witty. This is Faulty Fable's first ESOTU character, which is a calico.
I love that the belt and the hilt match.
Have little cat heads.
This is a beautiful little graphic. The cat hilt is nice. The whole thing has a consistent vibe to it, which is also good. A lot of care has been put into it. Love the calico colors. In just the short time that I've been looking at the art with you, we've had a Dunmer, who's a good indication of where we're going with our animated series. And we've had a good Disney Bosmer, which should Disney ever buy us and everybody else like they're doing with pretty much the entire world, then we'll do a Disney Bosmer. This is our web series now. So
Awesome.
this is I think this would be a great character because the puffs behind her are not actually kicking up dust. That is actually skooma clouds in the background. That is why this character is running at you with the sword.
That's great. This is Monday Morning in Cold Harbor by Alien on the ESOTU forums. There's a lot going on in this one. That's awesome.
There is.
Yeah, so I had a chance to look at this one a little closer, and there's a lot of fun stuff. I'm not sure if people actually watching can see, so we should point out a little bit of it. You have the Moleg Ball motivational recruiting poster in the background. There is a dartboard, which I can only assume has the Heroes of Tamriel on it. The darts appear to be soul shards, so that's
Oh, that's cute. I didn't even see
yeah,
that.
because
No, I didn't
you
either.
have them
Nice.
around.
Maybe it's the companions.
It might be.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. The little picture to his right is a picture of Manamarco clearly in love with the Amulet of Kings.
All the hearts.
And then he's got a little Starbucks cup, but it's like Moleg Ball
Yeah, it's like the.
something. Moleg Ball grounds, or I'd hate to
almost
think it
looks
was
like
a
a little
Moleg Ball
Ouroboros
tea
on it.
bag, but
Bucks.
Moleg Bucks.
Yeah.
And then he's got a stack of paperwork that is not being done right next to him. Now this
Well, that's Mondays for you.
yeah, it is Mondays. Now the thing is, 15 minutes after this picture was drawn, a producer walked in, right? And it was like a Drew Morrow, but in a suit, and he was like, "We've over-promised Moleg Ball on the amount of soul stones that we can produce. We need to find some way to cut back."
You had a nice Ben Stein voice going there. This is our next piece. It's Sorcerer, Dragon Knight, and Nightblade by Isriana, one of our frequent artists.
Yeah, I think these are 3 of her characters. Very cute.
They are adorable.
These
Just
are
wanna
great, and
pinch those little cheeks.
I wish you could zoom in on each one of them because there's a ton of beautiful detail, like especially close up.
Like the hem on that robe.
Yeah. And once again, someone's really looked at the stuff that we did, and I love that. I love it when somebody cares enough to look at what we're doing in game and do something this wonderful with it. The Isriana, if I'm not mispronouncing your name, you need to start on a set of tarot cards immediately.
Yes.
That would be
Because
great.
you could quit your day job if you did a series of tarot cards like this. Unless making tarot cards is your day job, in which case You should keep your day job because you're doing a really good job at it.
This is a commission for Dongzongshu by Taku Selvamini on DeviantArt. I probably butchered that. Sorry, guys.
You did a pretty good job.
This is very cute.
There's really nice line work in this. You guys were nice enough to actually pass these to me before the show.
So you could look at them in
so
more
I could,
detail.
so I could
yeah.
so I actually clicked on everybody's website so I could look at them close up in high res, because I figure that way, because my eyesight is shit. I need to be like 2 inches from the monitor and like looking at stuff. So, but yeah, there's a lot of nice subtle line work in this. So, and a nice expression on them.
Smile, dear. I feel like I get told that once a day, honestly.
So I love this. This is seriously beautiful. This like one of my own personal art faults is that since I draw so much machinery and dungeons and stuff, I never get I have a difficulty getting a sense of emotion out of a piece. And like this character has a lot of stuff going on just in that simple, wonderfully drawn thing. And there's a reason why, lore-wise, that Dunmer actually have that face.
Yeah?
So
That face.
Lawrence is going to kill me, but this is a true story. Not really, but it is true. So after the events of Morrowind, every time a Dunmer goes anywhere else in friggin' Tamriel, people ask him, "Do you know the Neverine? Do you know the Neverine?" And first of all, it's the Nerevarine, but And of course, we live on a really small island. There's only 5 people there. I know the Neverine too. So that's why they all have that look. It's tourists.
The partially annoyed look.
It's
They're
tourists.
just, they're over.
Yes, I met the hero of Morrowind. Now go home. Why are all you Nords naked?
This is a cosplay of Huntress by Tammy JJJ on DeviantArt, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very detailed.
Yeah, she did a good job. Like I actually went back and loaded up this character, and loaded up, Googled. I did research
image.
on this
Yep.
character with safe search on.
Naturally.
So no,
Because, yeah.
but no, clearly a lot of work went into that, and it shows. So thank you for sending that to us.
This is our own Breton hero from the cinematic trailers. Nightblade by Mr. Night Angel on DeviantArt. This is a really nice painterly look.
It does, and he's really picked out the main elements of that character. One of the things that we used to study illustration wise was like iconography. So you'd draw something, you'd flash it at somebody real quick, and then put it back down, and you'd see like, did they get it? Did they understand what you just showed them in that quick impression?
Interesting.
You can immediately tell what that is, where it's from, nailed that piece.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Now here is a piece. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead and say the title. You're better.
I would like to say Gagron Snowmane.
I think
Not
that's
sure
right.
if it's Fee or Phi, but we'll go with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was
XX.
something else. See, there's the eyesight thing again.
See, you can get up and get closer if you need to.
Yeah, that's really awkward because I keep ripping out this mic, and then Casey has to keep coming over and putting it back on. Thank you, Casey.
Casey's got the Dunmer face every time he does it.
Goddamn Weathers.
Yeah, this definitely looks like end of the week. I'm
Having a
over it.
beer.
Yep. Just chillaxing.
Love his tattoos.
Yeah, the tattoos are really worth looking close up at. I mean, there's like a lot of work in them, and just this. So there's high fantasy and there's low fantasy, and the high fantasy is like the super, wings on everything, glitter and whatnot, and then the Elder Scrolls stuff has tended to be much more, lower fantasy, much more gritty kind of thing, and this feels like a regular character. So
Cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, he looks very haggard.
that guy has had a long week of slaying things.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed
All right.
he has.
Well, that wraps up our art piece.
yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
coming down again.
Thank you for-
hanging out with us, going through some art. It was fun.
It was a tremendously long walk.
I know.
Yeah.
All the way down
Yeah,
the stairs.
30
I know.
seconds from my desk.
I know. We
And of
apologize.
course people don't know this because they're not here filming with us, but like, there's signs everywhere when we're filming. It said like, be quiet,
Yep.
shh, we're doing stuff. And all the locks that lead into this area, clank,
Yeah,
chink,
it's
clank.
super loud.
And so like I walk in and I'm just like I'm looking at Alyssa, I'm like, I'm sorry. Did I do
It's like when you sneak home at night and you're trying not to wake your parents up, and every floorboard is like, it's awful.
No, see,
Not that
I
we
have
ever
an
did
Italian
that.
mother. She was already awake because she never went to sleep.
Yeah,
You
I
do
know how
this
that
to
is.
me. I don't sleep. I
No,
worry
my
about
parents did
you."
the same thing. They stayed on the couch, and it was like, you can go to bed. And it's like, they would be on the couch asleep, but just go to bed.
No, you see, if my mom wasn't awake, then I wouldn't have guilt over all the fun I had.
Oh.
That's how that works. We're trying to make sure I don't go out. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very
we'll
welcome.
certainly have
Thank
you on
you.
again.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
So next up, we're going to dive into our Ask Us Anything
Get your
segment.
hands off that. What are you doing? You can't leave yet.
All right, so we have a bunch of questions that we're going to answer for you today from the official ESOTU forums. So give me one sec.
Hurry up, Jess.
I know, sorry, I should have grabbed this sooner. Okay, so we're going to start off with one from Mrs. Mr. Skin Skull.
Mr. Skin Skull
Sorry.
or Mrs. Kin Skull
Yep.
or Kin
So
Skull.
would it be feasible to offer extra storage slots as a perk of ESO Plus? So this is something we actually have plans in the work for. The way that it would work is we would bring a feature to our ESO Plus members that internally we're calling crafting bags. What these crafting bags would allow is for ESO Plus members to carry enormous quantities of crafting materials. So yes, it is something we are working on.
Look at the questions right there. Right there.
I know,
It's like,
it's nice.
you know what we're about to say. I don't even have to say anything. I can just be like,
There, read it.
will you add more mounts to the game that can only be purchased with gold? Not being able to buy every mount that comes to the Crown Store for a limited time breaks my completionist heart.
No.
At POV, we currently do not have plans to implement more mounts to be acquired by spending gold. As we add new mounts, we will try and keep one or two variants on the Crown Store permanently so that everybody can enjoy them.
Next up, we have one from Dark Heart. What is the reason that we need 10 times as many materials to craft VR16 armor versus VR15? So the notion here is to establish some parity between obtaining VR16 gear through other means, such as Telvar stones, trophy vaults, dungeon drops, etc., with crafting, as to provide a comparable challenge when attempting to acquire the most powerful equipment in the game.
Next question is from 9_9. Will all activated trophies be visible to other players one day? As of right now, some are, but most aren't. So some of these are set up this way for potential performance impacting reasons, but we can take another look and see if any of them are safe to change so they are visible to the public. And just to be clear, we're talking about the trophies in game that you get as like quest rewards, not
clickables.
not the
Yeah.
PlayStation trophies.
Yep.
Because when I first read it, I was like, how do PlayStation trophies affect performance? But, yeah.
This one is by Captain Obvious. Will there be a purpose to any of the Legerdemain items? We absolutely plan to expand on both the number of these items as well as their functionality. We can't say too much at this time because it's still in the works, but it is definitely something that we are working on.
Thank you, Jess.
You're welcome.
Next question
And you're
is,
welcome, Captain Obvious.
New Black Smurf has the next question. With or after the release of Imperial City, would it be possible to allow merchants at the crafting stations to sell racial pieces, like stones, required for the purple racial motifs, but instead of gold, sell them for Telvar stones?
Good question.
We will definitely continue to evaluate what types of items can be added or adjusted at the Telvar vendors, but at this time we aren't planning to add any rare styles to them.
This is another one by 99. I understand that Zoss is working toward letting us dye our shields. This is true. But are there any plans to let us dye our weapon color? So this is a subject that has been debated quite a bit internally at the studio, and it continues to be discussed. But at this time, there are no plans to allow for weapon dyeing, but shield dyeing is absolutely being worked on and still something we plan on releasing.
There's a forum member, I think it's Jericho, and every patch he's like, shield dyeing wasn't in.
Yeah,
It's like,
I know.
well, it's coming.
It is.
Next question. Why can't I loot any container nor interact with any prop in those prettily decorated Outlaws refugees? So these locations are set up this way in order to avoid confusion and exploits with the justice system in balancing the risk and the reward of criminal acts in refugees, such as whether or not you can receive bounty from stealing from other thieves or what have you. So,
Thievery
Sorry.
from thieves.
yeah. Does that kind of cancel it out so it's not really thievery
I
at all?
don't know. I think it might be worse. Okay, this one's from Nazlu. Are we going to get new passive trees with Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild like the Ledger Domain skills, or are new active skills coming in, or mixed trees with active and passive skills? So this is something we're actively working on, so while we can't say much at the moment, because it could change, you will likely be hearing more about this content in the coming months.
Neat. Next question. Why is the option Kick from Guild one of the first options in the context menu on the roster?
Oh, I feel like that's happened to somebody.
Yeah, potentially. That is on purpose, and we position that option at the top because we have put the most commonly used options near the top for your convenience.
So just
Or maybe not convenient if you accidentally hit it, but it is one of the more commonly used ones, so we figure why not put it at the top?
So kick with caution. This one is by Doulahan. Not really a question, but I think it would be a good idea to get a notification in the top corner or something when you get a mail, instead of having to go into the menu to check if you have mail. We also think this is a great idea, and the feature is currently being developed.
We are busy. All right, next question from Litora Sitor, something. Will the scrolling combat text include the display of buffs and debuffs? As much as I like the idea to display effects on the health bar, it gets confusing fast in dense combat. We do want to show this information, the buffs and debuffs. It won't be a part of the scrolling combat text specifically, but it will have some sort of presence on the HUD. So you can look forward to that in a future update.
Woohoo! This is by Spectral Lord. Are there any plans to give eyebrows and beards their own color grid? When you pick, for example, a very light hair color, the eyebrows and beard are barely visible. We don't currently have any plans to adjust the settings in the color grid at this time, but it is a good idea.
I'm just picturing people with like invisible eyebrows and
If you pick certain colors for your skin and your hair, they do become it's almost
it's
the
an
same.
interesting look.
Mm-hmm.
Jess, I dare you to shave your eyebrows next show.
No.
All right, here's a question from BJ Snow 404. What is the meaning of Telvar? I would really like to know what kind of stones I'm collecting. Well, BJ Snow 404, we're going to tell you. Baradalmo the Signifier himself says the name is adapted from the Aelidune for Silver Star, which is appropriate as Telvar stones are small, magically imbued fragments of the White Gold Tower, splintered from the structure, and the tower was built by the Aelids. There you have it.
All right. We have a question here from Randolph Benoit, one of our regulars. How tall and old is Great Tree Eldenroot at the heart of Grotwood, and how did it become a city? Well, Baradalmo Baradalmo, the signifier, has given us another answer. He says the greatest grot oaks of Valenwood are older than history itself, dating back to the Merethic era, where the elves ruled all Tamriel. The mighty walking trees of that time were centers of mystic energy, so the wood elves built their settlements among their branches and were one with the green.
Next question from, another from Randolph Benoit. Threw me for a loop. We've seen zombie werewolves, but has there been zombie vampires in the history of lore? Guess what? Baradalmo the signifier with another answer. He was a busy guy. He says the former is a case of a lycanthrope becoming a lower sort of undead, which would seem consistent with what I know of necromancy, at least as practiced by the Aelids, which are my specialty. I would think a zombie vampire would be two kinds of undead in one, which sounds impractical.
Impractical.
So impractical.
But not impossible. All right, this one is from R.D. Myers and a bunch of numbers. With 2.1 dropping on 8/31, so I was talking about the patch next week for PC, the 30-day campaign on Azura's Star will not be completed. Will you end the campaign early to send out the campaign rewards, or will the campaign wipe happen and rewards won't happen? Campaigns will be force-ended and rewards will be granted based on the status of your characters on the leaderboard at that time and tier status.
And we are also doing free home campaign reassignments for the patch as well.
Yep.
It's all in the patch notes. Got plenty to look forward to, plenty to read.
58 pages. You know what you're doing Monday.
Get comfortable. Next question. For PvP, would you consider allowing people to sign up with another faction for a session at a time? With the proper precautions or limitations to prevent abuse, the possibility of signing up as a mercenary with another faction could help players regulate population imbalances. We are looking at removing the restrictions of alliances on accounts and campaigns, but we don't really have a lot of information about this at this time. It's kind of still being developed. So stay tuned.
All right, and this is a question that came in anonymously. Either that or it was just a common question that we got a lot. On the subject of PvP campaigns, when will we get a list of what servers have which rule sets and which ones will be CP locked, champion point locked? None will be introduced for Imperial City, but in the future when we introduce these campaigns, we will let everybody know.
Maybe we won't. It'll just be a surprise.
I think we will.
Probably should.
Yeah.
Next question from Psycho Bunny. Will PC players be able to continue to use third-party controller programs, or will they be forced into the console model when controller support is added to PC? And just in case you missed it, we are doing controller support for PC. It'll be in sometime in the future. We don't have a date yet, but we are working on it. So to answer the question, when controller support goes in, it will be a toggled option. If you want to use the controller and the console UI natively, you can turn it on. If you don't, just leave the option off and nothing will change from the current setup. Just keep in mind that we don't officially support third-party programs, nor do we test with these programs. So use it at your own risk.
This one is by Tragus. What does clicking on opinion at a dark anchor actually do? Does it just heal you? Do you get a buff? People seem to think not clicking on them until everything dies gives you better loot and or a better chance at general spawning. Is that true? I love urban legends that come up from games.
It's my favorite.
They're great. So we have an answer for you. Interacting with opinion gives you a buff that boosts damage of all participants by 10% for 30 seconds. Also restoring resources to full, so your health, your stamina, and your magicka. Once all 4 opinions are interacted, the next stage in the event is triggered. Generals are random, with zone factored in some, not based on how many monsters you kill. So
there you have it.
Urban legend squashed, sorry. But now you know.
The more you know. Next question from Six Upon the Lot. There are a lot of questions in here. I feel like we've been talking for hours. We should take a commercial break. Next question. In the last ESO Live episode, creative director Rich Lambert said the reason there will not be raids larger than 12 people for PvE is because there's too much stuff going on in larger groups. Why don't they take this view with PvP, especially considering the current performance issues and pain train meta in Cyrodiil? Rich, you're being called out, pal. I think he's still hanging out in chat. You know, if only it were that easy. Restricting group size to 12 in Cyrodiil won't really stop people from grouping into larger groups. Groups follow groups, solo players follow groups. It's kind of a safety in numbers thing. We restricted the group size in Trials because we had the ability to do so.
And it impacted balance.
Indeed it did.
Yep. This is by Red Threat. Why doesn't ZOS remake loot from AA and HRC, make it more useful, change their bonuses, etc.? Do you not want to scale them to VR16? So it's not quite as simple as just bumping up the item power in these trials. The trials themselves would either have to scale or be retuned to the max level, either of which is not a trivial amount of work. We've chosen to work on a new trial instead of going back and rebalancing the existing trials to bump them up.
I lost my place. Here we go. So next question. Will the new music coming with Imperial City and future updates be available for free download or purchase? The new music that is going into Imperial City is really awesome. And we think and we hope that you agree with that. There's actually going to be over 90 minutes of new music coming with our next DLC game pack. So that new music will be available on digital platforms like iTunes or Spotify and more in the future. So you will be able to enjoy that music in the game and everywhere you go.
Awesome.
Dream come true.
Last question.
Yeah, right?
This is by Tholian1. I love the ESO2U dynamic theme for the PS4. Are more themes planned in the future? We love the ESO2U dynamic theme for PS4 too. Our amazing art team went the extra mile to recreate the Dark Anchor screenshot, turning it into a full-blown, high-resolution animated theme. If you haven't yet, be sure to check it out on the PlayStation Network. As for more themes down the road, we'd love to do another one and release it alongside a future DLC game pack. So keep an eye out.
Do you guys hear my knees cracking? Do you hear it?
Ew,
I'm sorry, it
yeah.
was really distracting. I'm kind of trying to like quietly stretch out and it just keeps on popping and I'm just gonna do this. There we go.
Okay.
There it goes. So our next segment is going to be Life at Sauce with our Game Tools programmer, Will Burton. So don't go anywhere.
And we're back.
We're back. We're just talking about getting old. So joining us Life at Sauce this week is Will Burton himself in the flesh. So
welcome, Will.
thank you for joining us. Lovely to have you.
So, Will, why don't you tell us a little bit about what a Game Tools programmer does?
It's a fancy title.
Yeah.
So we make things to help the artists, the QA testers, and the content designers, the story builders, make things for the game.
cool.
Essentially, it's the program to help us put the stuff in the program, the content in the program itself.
Helps them implement more efficiently.
Exactly.
Awesome.
It's a pretty important job.
Yeah.
You're a pretty important
we try
guy.
not to screw up.
Yeah. Yeah, no pressure, but you know, don't mess it up. So what's sort of a typical day like for you as a Game Tools programmer?
So we get a lot of requests in tools. There's always some new idea, some new concept, or something new, cool thing we want to try and put in the game. And so a lot of times what we do is we talk with the person, try and get a better idea how we can implement that from a technical standpoint. And so there's a lot of iterations of me talking, trying some things in code, testing it out with them, and then getting more feedback and then doing it again. And just really a lot of that on a day-to-day basis.
Well,
So-
can I just tell you real quick, everyone thinks you are the best dressed guest we've ever had on the show.
Awesome.
You look lovely today.
Thank you.
Look at us in our t-shirts.
Yeah.
Putting us to shame.
So is it the type of thing where like a content designer would come to you and say, you know, this process takes a really long time for us to do and it feels really manual. Can you do something to help us make it a little less manual?
like perfect example of that is a tester was going in Excel and they were copying and pasting numbers from the game one by one.
Oh, wow.
And it
monotonous.
was something that we could actually just write a tool where they could just click a button or type a command and it would do the whole thing for them in
Oh,
seconds.
nice. Yeah.
So a lot of stuff like that we try and do is save people time so they can get back to the more fun stuff.
And saving people time means that we can make more content.
Yes.
Wait,
Awesome.
can you write a tool for me for patch notes to make that a little more automated? I just had like a light bulb moment. Like, wait a second. Where have you been? So what? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. How did you kind of get into the industry and land your job here at ZOS?
Okay. So I kind of worked at like Ford for a few years, and then I worked at IBM for a few years.
cool.
And then so I put in my resume at the website, and I applied for a job here.
Our jobs page?
Yeah, exactly. Jobs.zenimax.com.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it. Nice plug.
And I got a call from Sharif. I miss Sharif so much, but I got a call from Sharif. That was how I got here.
How long
That's
have you been
pretty
here?
easy.
been here a
It was
while, huh?
just 4 years on the 15th.
Awesome.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Awesome. So what's the main difference between programming in the game industry and out?
So one of the big things for me is I get to try a lot of things. I have a lot more freedom here, especially with technology I use or the ideas I might have. Whereas working for like a Ford or an IBM, it's very, very structured. Like you can only use this library, you can't use the other library. And so it's a very narrow path. There's only so many things you can do. So it makes the job really, really focused and small. And you don't really get a chance to explore or grow that much because it's a very tight niche. Plus the work's more fun here. I mean, I get to do really cool stuff here.
Somebody was just asking in chat what programming language you use.
So for me, I use some C#, I use some C++, I use some PHP, I use some Python, and I use some Java.
What
Wow.
don't you use? No, everything.
I do a little bit of everything, but not a lot of one thing.
Fair enough. Sounds like our job.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you've worked on while you've been here? Can you talk about any of them?
Yeah, so like one of the main tools we use to develop quests and build the world inside of Tamriel for ESO, we call it Grid. It's where all the people who work on the game go and they add in all the things that make the game the game. I've been given an opportunity to add lots of really cool tools and sliders and panels and stuff like that into that. In addition, there's a tool that QA specifically uses called QA Tool Suite, and I've added a bunch of little small tools in there that make up the suite so that QA can do the things they do a lot faster.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Everyone
All about
likes doing work
efficiency.
faster.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of working here?
The people.
The people?
Like honestly,
Aw.
seriously, the people. Like I can't stress that enough. Like it's so much fun coming here and being able to hang out with people inside and both outside the office because you
Yeah.
actually like genuinely hanging out with those people.
Yeah.
Like how awesome is that? How many people can actually say that on a daily
I actually
basis?
like my coworkers.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's so awesome.
You see him in the street, like, hey, just like last
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys run into each other?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, funny.
We were both going to brunch at the same place.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I run into you at the grocery store
I
all
know.
the time. Jess will run up and just smack me randomly. I just know it's her now.
Sat next to me randomly in a movie theater.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'll run into people like at the movie theater and random restaurants, just all over the place. We're everywhere, taking over Baltimore.
Sauce.
Somebody in chat was asking what sorts of applications you use for your projects.
Visual Studio. I love Visual Studio. It's probably my favorite. There's a little text editor called Sublime. I absolutely love Sublime. There's really cool shortcuts and cool things you can do in Sublime. So if you get really cool at like pressing keys in Sublime, you can do amazing things in like 3 buttons. So what else do I use? geez, I'm having a hard time coming up with. There's a lot of tools I use. But those two
They're
are
probably
definitely
just
my
like
favorite.
open all the time.
Yeah.
If
Oh
you're
yeah.
anything like me, everything's just always open.
Yes, exactly. Like there's a million tabs in Chrome,
Yep.
and then behind that
Yep.
on the taskbar, like how many buttons do you have open? Don't worry about it. I'll get to it.
Is there any other parting words you have for us?
No.
Do you want to put anything on your head, or I don't know? Everyone in chat always likes it when.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, so yeah,
This is like Will's signature look right here.
Will is known for walking around the studio with his headphones, with his very nice headphones.
Very nice
You
ones.
love music, right?
I absolutely love music.
What are some of your favorites?
Like right now today, I was listening to Heartless Bastard. I absolutely love Heartless Bastard. It's one of my favorite songs by them is Marathon. It was on their 2012 album. I'm
Rattling off those
Yeah.
facts.
I'm really excited for the new Jerry Clark Jr. album. What else was? I listen to everything. Like every day, I'm always
All
listening to
different
something
types.
different.
Yeah.
Like all the time. There's over 9,000 songs on my iPhone right now.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, Will's always like walking down the hallway jamming to something. Somebody in chat was also asking how you get into your type of profession. So
Specifically
any-
tools.
Yeah, I guess. Right?
So
Let me know.
I would highly suggest like trying out like game tools. There's a lot of game tools for free to download, like Unity or the Unreal Editor. Trying out, playing with them, see what they do, and then try and making like smaller portions of them. Like maybe grab like the animation editor and just trying to make just an animation editor, or trying to make just an audio editor. I wouldn't try starting out just making Unreal because that's like too overwhelming. But like small little pieces, and then after you have enough small little pieces, you can actually put them all together.
Okay.
Just like Legos.
And do you-
Programming's like Legos.
Do you put together a portfolio or of your work and show
I
off,
have
or?
not, but I've seen some really great portfolios,
Yeah.
and they usually involved, like one of the really cool ones I saw is they went and they grabbed a bunch of free indie games.
Yeah.
And they started making their own editors for the free indie games.
That's
so like
cool.
a small little 2D puzzle game. They made a level editor for that free little indie puzzle game. So I like stuff like that's a really cool thing where you can like focus on it on weekends and put it up on a website for somebody to view.
Very cool.
Well, I think we are going to wrap up here. But before we do, we are going to have one more giveaway.
Awesome.
And if you want, Will, you can tell everybody what they're going to win and what the keyword is.
It's right there.
Yeah, spoiler, it's there. So it's actually a Nord Symbiote figure.
Oh, okay.
It's the little statue thingy. I don't know if we have an image of it. I think
No, we don't.
I think we kind of dropped the ball
Okay.
there, but you've seen it before. Just watch previous shows. So the keyword,
Sewers.
sewers.
For everybody knows, right?
Imperial City.
Imperial City Sewers.
Not International Circle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Somebody I saw just kind of passing in chat was asking what the heck was going on with the servers last night.
Yeah.
It was kind of a widespread ISP issue, so it wasn't just us and
we're not just making that up.
we're not,
we
promise. So really, it was just a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
And so once we kind of got a pulse back in, we rebooted everything, and everything is back up now for all mega servers.
It was crazy because it was actually impacting some of the email and phone services for people at work too.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
It
we
was
were
definitely very
calling
widespread.
a few people. Why are you answering? And it's like they just didn't even get the call.
Yeah.
So it was good times. So everyone in chat is just all sewers.
Yep.
All right. So the winner is Kragon the Elder, not the younger, but the Elder.
Congrats,
So
Kragon.
congratulations on winning your very own Nord Symbiote. Comes with a neat little statue and an in-game pet. It's the White Run Wolfhound. Say that 5 times fast. Go ahead, Will. White. He's like
No.
Well, thank you again
Yes,
for
thank
joining
you.
us. It was awesome to have you. You look very dapper.
Yes, you
you.
do.
Most dapper guest of the show, for sure.
Yay.
So next up, we're going to go into our community events, as usual. So you can check out what is going on in game for the next couple weeks. Maybe something to do this weekend. So for those of you who have never seen these before, we have a very active role play community, and it's actually spanned all the way over to console as well. So each week the role play community puts together a number of in-game live events where you can go and do fun stuff, drink, sometimes do fighting on any of the mega servers. So we're going to take a look at some of those that you can participate in. So the first up is the Smashed Crab Tavern Nights. This is actually a recurring one. It happens every Saturday. The next couple are August 29th and September 5th. It's a tavern event in Windhelm on the European Mega Server at Thane Mara's house in Windhelm. And this is for PC and Mac.
Drinks on Sundays. Woo! Wind and have a good sip at the Walker State Inn. This happens naturally on Sundays at 2300 hours GMT. It's on the EU Mega Server on Reaper's March, Aldmeri Dominion. You can contact ScatMat if you have any questions.
And more in drinks and libations on Sundays. This one is also a recurring event on August 30th and September 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the North American Mega Server, also on Reaper's March, Aldmeri Dominion for PC and Mac.
Next, we have the Aldmeri Dominion Tavern Night. Silver Blade Contracts, man, I cannot talk today, offer you a fun night to speak, drink, and eat with your fellow Dominion members. This happens Mondays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, the North American Mega Server at Hadron's Caravan. Remember what I said about not talking? That's I need to go to bed before 5 a.m. So this is happening in Reaper's March for Aldmeri Dominion. There's all sorts of folks you can contact at the bottom of the screen if you have questions, including Raffle Pancakes.
Raffle Pancakes! Next up is the Skywatch Tea Party. If you've had enough alcohol to drink, you can now have some tea. So you're invited to attend the Skywatch Tea Party free of charge. No dress code required. That seems like a challenge.
No dress code.
No dress code?
Uh-oh. Think people are reading that as no dress required?
This is happening on Tuesday, September 1st and Tuesday, September 8th at 8 p.m. BST on the European Mega Server in Skywatch at the Barbed Hook Tavern's outdoor area for Aldmeri Dominion members. And this is for PC and Mac.
Next, we have the miscellaneous Valenwood events for EU. If you want to enjoy a night of poetry readings, hide and seek, and singing contests, this is for you. It happens Wednesdays at 6 p.m. GMT on the EU Mega Server. The location will vary, so you should contact the name below if you have any questions.
Oh my gosh, singing contests on the PS4?
Oh.
That means they're probably over voice chat. That sounds like it'd be really fun. Next up, this is the mirror event of the one we just went over, some miscellaneous Valenwood events for North America. You can attend this night of role-playing with events like Guar Racing, Hide and Seek, and Tavern Nights. This happens on Wednesdays. This is a recurring. Next two are on September 2nd and September 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The North American Mega Server in Valenwood. The exact events and locations vary, so you can contact either Forest Guardian for PC and Mac or Gentle Storm on Xbox One.
RP and SPAR training. If you want to learn how to roleplay, fight, and have fun, you should head. Well, I don't know, because location is TBD, but it is going to be on the NA Mega Server on Thursdays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. If you have questions, contact Arwen79. This is for PC and Mac.
And that wraps up our events.
Yep. Getting all comfy back here. So this just about wraps up our show. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was lovely to have everyone.
Yeah.
We will be back on Friday, September 11th at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, same channel.
And don't forget, as if you could, on Monday, Imperial City launch for North America and Tuesday for Europe. We're very excited to see all of you there. And then, of course, console, September 15th for Xbox One and September 16th for PS4.
Excited for
Yes.
Imperial City. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure we will be in there running around on our own characters too, probably getting killed a lot.
Yep. Keep an eye out. So yeah, if you have any creations for us, any RP events, whatever, be sure and send it to us at community@elderscrollsonline.com.
We haven't had a good video of anybody singing a song in a long time.
Oh
That
my
would be
gosh.
wonderful.
I found one on the ESO subreddit one time, and it was cracking me up. It was so funny. It was some guy who he was running around, I guess, the middle of the town offering songs
Yes.
for money or something, and I guess everyone thought he was scamming, but he's like, no, just, it's 100 gold for a song or whatever, and yeah, he would make up these little songs on the spot, and it was awesome. It was so fun.
Real life bard.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much, and we will see you in Tamriel or Imperial City next week.
Yay, bye.